We have a very clean engine bay, a very loud heater, and a good stereo to listen to some stuff. We're going to take this trusty Sharpie, and I'm going to go through and circle everything that I've thought about that I do not need anymore, because I will be welding a lot of things shut. So holes, things like that I do not need anymore, I'm going to be welding them shut and then grinding them flat, because Alex has asked me to do that. So there's a lot of things on here that I'm not going to be using anymore, so that we can clean the engine bay up quite a bit. And I've also got to put my wheel liners back in, not completely, but just put them back in where I know I can get away without having certain bolts. So some of these things right here and here, I don't like them, but if I have to have them, I'm going to have to keep them. So I'm just going to go through and circle everything right quick, just to decide exactly what I want to keep and what I do not want to keep. Started out right up here, got that thing all ground down. I just started putting them everywhere. So we have a lot of holes filled in. So these holes here, these are actually for my fuse box, and I'm actually not going to relocate that. So the paint scheme that I'm going with, that you guys will see soon enough, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm going to be painting the fuse box, top and bottom, the same color as certain things. And it should look fairly nice. Now, I am obviously not finished yet. I've got some more holes to fill in, but we are getting there, and this thing is gonna probably look pretty freaking good when I'm done. So I gotta grind all these things down real quick and then debate whatever else I'm gonna weld up. We'll see. We'll see. I got this thing all ground down. I don't know if I'm going to be plugging any more holes. Some of the things behind the strut towers I would like to have there, just in case I need to mount certain things like boost controllers and stuff like that. Also, once the base painted, it's not really like it's going to be noticeable anyways, so a lot of these other holes that are all going to be plugged up, it's going to look very good regardless. It's getting kind of late. I do have to work in the morning, but I will be back out here tomorrow, and then Sunday I'm off, so then I will be back out here finishing up and getting a lot of the stuff done. Got to take the mirrors off, door handles, and the rear bumper. Yep, we're going to be doing all that in this video, so yes, stay tuned. We got a lot to do, This bay is starting to look good. I made a terrible mistake. You know, I jumped right into closing all these holes, and yeah, well, I ended up closing 2 of the holes that were meant for the power steering fluid reservoir. So now I only have 1 mounting position, which, I mean, honestly, it's not that big of a deal. I'm probably just gonna modify that thing anyways, or I will just order a Chase Bays one, so that way we can get a better looking engine bay. But we will see. I'll probably look into it, but yeah. I did make sure that not everything else that I have, you know, plugged up is not needed. So the next thing we're going to be doing is cleaning up the side skirt. Now that's just dirt and stuff, but here where there was original side skirts on the car, those janky things, the previous owner or whatever in Australia, whoever had this back then, they were really, really bad about this, about installing this, and they did sheet metal screws. So you can see there's holes along the end here. So I'm going to be sanding this down, and then I'm going to be plugging the holes, same as the other side. But I also need to remove everything, like all of my plastics and my vents, just everything that could potentially get in the way of Alex doing his job. And I got to remove the mirrors and door handles. And yeah, we are on the way to a beautiful Supra, and right now I am currently just scrubbing the bay with a new Scotch-Brite pad, making this look a little bit better. I mean, it doesn't really matter how good it looks, it just needs to be all zapped up with this, so that way things can stick to it when it's going to get painted. So we are on our way to a beautiful engine bay, guys. A beautiful engine bay. It's all cleaned up now. Got all the little holes and everything patched up, ground down. There's a hole here. Got it all ground down. So Alex said he didn't really want to do jams, but unfortunately, I think I have some bad news for him. He's at least going to have to spray the bottom, which I'm sure he'll be just fine with. he doesn't like changing colors of cars, and I can imagine why he doesn't want to do like all of this stuff. Silver is what we're doing. So got all of everything off there, all my plastics, even my interior rubber that goes to my vent. It's I call it interior rubber because it's a rubber piece that's inside that is the vent, and then it also blocks the actual interior of the car. So got this whole side done now, and now it's on to the other side, and we got to reverse everything that lunatics have done. I don't understand how people could do this to these cars. It's crazy. It blows my mind. Well, like I was saying earlier, guys, on the other side, up in here, it goes inside the quarter panel, and yeah, there's like not really a speck of rust on this car, so that's pretty decent, but obviously there's blemishes and stuff that's gonna get fixed. But anyways, up inside the car, there's like actual insulation, and I mean like actual insulation. Like, I have no idea. Toyota used house grade insulation from 1994. Look at that, 300 yen. Why is my stuff so blown out? Okay, there we go. 300 yen. This is like literal house grade insulation. And they just had it like stuffed in. There's a whole bunch in there. So let's see here. So this is how it goes. So I just take it, and there's this hole right here inside. And I just have to shove it up inside. Oh, no, it's up. It's straight up, not there. Okay, there we go. So it's like it's up in there. Can't really see it, I guess. I just know that it's like all the way up inside here, which is pretty freaking cool. That's cool. Cool little find there. It still had the freaking price tags on the insulation from 1994. So, man, Toyota really didn't cheap out on stuff. You know, like some of the insulation that you find in like cars, like in the 240, there's like really not that much insulation. It's more of like that foam padding that's like stuck to the back of all the plastics. But like that's like a legitimate insulation. That's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Anyways, another little update here. I got the other side off, all the plastics and everything. I got to get the holes and everything all patched up. I'll show you guys what I mean by the holes. Someone just sheet metal screwed some garbage side skirts onto this, and then they used some really, I'm not even sure what this stuff is, but these are what we're plugging up. These are what we're plugging up. So just got to grind all these holes down so they're bare metal, and then I'll fill all of them, and this thing is gonna look perfect. Then I got to grind this thing down again. I don't know what or why there's a deep enough scratch here to start surface rust, but I'll grind that off, and then I will hit this with the Scotch-Brite pad, and I think that we will be pretty much ready to send it to paint. All the holes are bare, and we are ready to fill them in and grind them down. We are very close. There we go, guys. All the holes are filled in, all ground down. She's ready to get Scotch-Brite. Yeah, Scotch-Brited it once, but it's ready to go to the paint booth and have the rest of the stuff done. I'll probably focus on cleaning a lot of that stuff up. Now that the skirts are all done, it's time to move on and get the taillights and bumper removed, get it off the car. The bumper will be going with the car, of course, and man, I cannot wait. This thing's gonna be so amazing when it's finished. It's gonna be so beautiful. I think at this point, we're pretty well ready to go.